This is Hannibal here from the Hannibal TV on YouTube. And today I want to address something that I posted a video that I acquired from RF Video about yesterday, the Montreal Screwjob. Al Snow talked about it. I posted a clip of it on my Facebook, and someone claiming to be my friend who I've never spoken to before in my life started chirping me that I was an idiot for not believing it's real, believing it's a work. And I'm going to explain my case why. But the guy proceeded to then go to my The Hannibal TV Facebook page and harass me, post a bunch of comments on YouTube harassing me. Like, give me a break, man. Get a life. But let me jump into this because I think that, first of all, many wrestlers have told me they believe it's a work, both on and off the record. Demolition are one group of wrestlers that believe it's a work. Axe and Smash, particularly Axe, who has been in the business also as the Masked Superstar, believes it's a work. And if you go to Grok, if you ask AI, which wrestlers believe that it's a work, Bill Apter has hinted it's a work. Kevin Nash, one of Shawn Michaels' best friends, thinks it's a work. Scott Hall thought it was a work. Bam Bam Bigelow thought it was a work. Road Dogg, who is the current head writer for SmackDown, believes it was a work. George Steele said it was a work, longtime WWE agent. Chris Kanyon believes it's a work. Steve Corino believes it's a work. Tony Mamaluke believes it's a work. Justin Credible, a member of The Clique, thinks it's a work. Paul Bear, the Undertaker's manager, said it was a work. Tammy, who at least shared a dressing room with Bret Hart, I believe they probably did more than that, considering her track record and his track record, which he admitted to cheating on his wife constantly in his book. I'm not going to just think Sunny in her prime of looks didn't cheat with Bret Hart. I just don't believe that. Brian Hebner, the son of Earl Hebner, also believed it's a work. Jimmy Corderas, who was there that night, now believes it was a work. So look at those people that all think it was a work. Why am I an idiot? Those are some of the smartest people in wrestling. Vince McMahon is the best worker probably in the history of wrestling. Shawn Michaels is one of the best workers in the history of wrestling. Bret Hart is one of the best workers in the history of wrestling. Why could they not work? Dave Meltzer believed it, but let me tell you guys a little story. Back in 2011, Tommy Dreamer and I did a little Montreal Screwjob style angle in Montreal, and the Wrestling Observer reported that I had shot on Tommy Dreamer, and everyone picked it up. And for about 2 weeks, everyone believed that I had actually shot on Tommy Dreamer for some random reason in a match in Montreal, when the real reason was we just wanted to stir up a little buzz because the match was on the same night as, I think it was, St. Pierre against Koscheck. There was a bad crowd. So what I do when I think there's a bad crowd is let's make a video. And this was before I even had the Hannibal TV. It was posted on someone else's YouTube channel and it went viral. It is on the Hannibal TV now, but like, we managed to work Meltzer then. I've done works before. For years, people thought the Lanny Poffo thing and I was a work because we didn't tell the other wrestlers in the dressing room. Only Lanny, Honky Tonk Man, the camera guys, and me knew. And we kept it to ourselves for years until Lanny finally let the cat out of the bag. So it is possible, if you keep something within a small circle, you can actually keep it as a work. I'm telling you that right now. Now, how did Bret Hart lose in this situation? The whole reason McMahon and Bret Hart worked Bischoff because McMahon didn't want to pay Bret anymore. He was breaking down physically. He didn't really wrestle full time that much longer after that. So the people that deny Bret was breaking down physically, he clearly was. There wasn't that much free money at the time. They weren't public. They tricked Bischoff into thinking that there was some sort of competition, and Bret ended up making $3 million a year in WCW, which he clearly didn't end up contributing due to his injuries. Which again, he says it's due to the Goldberg kick, but he did wrestle 10 times after that in WCW alone. Went on to wrestle in WWE. Then he collected a Lloyd's of London insurance policy based on that kick, which people like to forget about. He actually collected a Lloyd's of London insurance policy for a while from getting kicked in the head when he, quote unquote, couldn't wrestle anymore. Then he went back to WWE, which, by the way, he's still under a merchandising and Legends contract to this day, according to reports. And let's just share a screen here for a second. I'm going to share the screen again of what Bret Hart has made with WWE since coming back to the WWE. He came back in 2005, less than 10 years after the Screwjob. They put him in the Hall of Fame, and they put out a DVD. 2010, 2011, he came back in the ring, did storylines, headlined a WrestleMania. Apparently, he made $50,000 to $100,000 per major appearance, and in the range of $500,000 to $1.5 million for other appearances. He was still under a Legends contract in between. He was, for a while there, he was U.S. champion. Here's the estimated earnings breakdown. 2005 to 2006, 50 to 100 grand one-time payments. 2010, 2011, 500,000 to 1.5 million. Legends contract 50 to 200,000 a year. 1 to 4 million over 20 years. Could be even more than that now. And then from 2006 to 2025, he makes 100,000 to 300,000 per appearances. So he could have made as much as 5.9 million for that whole his whole post WWE run. And now that they're paying people huge money to not appear in AEW, I suspect he's making more than ever, because Undertaker makes 2.5 million a year. And Bret has enough to throw away on a promotion in Calgary that doesn't do very well. It doesn't draw that many fans, considering the price of the pavilion to rent. So all I'm saying is to call me an idiot for questioning three of the greatest workers of all time in a situation that made them all famous. And we've seen Bret and Vince be very friendly in between. Maybe not now that Vince has all this stuff against him. We've seen Bret and Shawn Michaels be all buddy-buddy. Earl Hebner himself thinks everyone was in on it now. The Grease says Bret worked the boys before too, before and after WrestleMania 12. He was fantastic at blurring the lines. So I would not just trust what Bret Hart says 100%. This is a guy that admittedly cheated on his wife for years. To get away with that, you got to be a pretty damn good worker. Think about it. And he still makes people believe he didn't have sex with Sonny, for whatever that's worth. But again, believe what you want to believe, but don't call me an idiot for having an opinion. And don't follow me on whatever, harass me on whatever. But if you're going to make me a Facebook friend, don't say you're my